We literally don't know how many variables, student success is. First, how do we measure student success? And then how do we know what variables actually impact student success the most?
Yep.
I mean, that's a really hard question. And yet, just by virtue of being human, we tend to attribute it to a person, not multiple people, maybe a class of people, but to a person. So it's that student's teacher will bear the brunt of the either success or, bear the brunt of the failure or reap the rewards of the success.
Yeah.
Similarly, for school systems, the superintendent ultimately can do some things and change a lot, but there are so many other variables, and that person is still the scapegoat or the hero depending on perceived success of the school system. And that's just not how complex systems work.
Yeah, and to actually view education and educational reform as a complex system, I think it's Lordy who talks about the idea of apprenticeship of observation. And when I first heard that concept and described, it made sense with how parents that I've worked with, like especially in like the marching band community, like have this like, well, this is how we did it in my day, so you should be doing it that way too. But like politicians in particular, they may spend multiple decades going through school and seeing it being done in a very particular way. And so they learn what worked for them, but they did not learn what the thought processes were and the context that were influencing the teachers and the decisions that they made, why they were doing certain things, whether it was a policy or like a school mandate, administrator mandate, or just modifying to individuals. So people spend so much time observing teaching, but not understanding why and the context. And so they walk out with this like a puzzle that is not completed yet, but they think it is. And they don't realize that they're missing so many of the important pieces that would completely change how a teacher might approach a situation in a different context. Like I'm very fortunate that I've worked in every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, in a variety of contexts, whether it was very low socioeconomic status to very high, low diversity in terms of racial diversity to high racial diversity, like a wide variety of different contexts. And that has allowed me to see that one thing might work great for one class and not worked at all for a completely different class. And I don't think most people outside of education know that or understand it.
I agree completely. And what you just said makes me think of ecosystems, and that healthy ecosystems are diverse. They have, robust different soil conditions, and the soil conditions and microclimates allow for a diverse set of plants, which then feed different insects, which feed different larger organisms, larger animals. You can also think of ecosystems are complex systems as well, and you can draw an analogy between education and ecosystems, that there are different conditions in different places that require different solutions, different approaches, and yet it's again a very human thing to do. And I want to respect and hold up that, I think the vast majority of people thinking about and working on education are doing so in good faith.
Yeah.
They want the best for students and for teachers and for the system. It's not universally true, but it's for the most part, it's true.